Hey y'all, it's Mav. This is Mav Magic. This is a place where I'm trying to help my trans brothers, sisters, and siblings become their higher selves. But today, we're going to take a little bit of a break from spiritual talk and just update you on my life personally and my non-binary transition. Before I get into all of that lovely, lovely, lovely content, I just want to ask for you to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel and share this video if you find any of the content helpful or useful. I'm trying to be kind of peppy today, so I'm feeling this energy. I don't know what it is, but something in the water, I guess. I'm gonna talk just real generally about why I chose to go on low-dose testosterone. Also, I'm gonna share some tips about my second consult that I had for top surgery. So that's gonna be towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that good stuff. But I have been on testosterone since February, and so that's about 5 months. It's coming on 6 months. I think the 12th would be 6 months officially. And it's been crazy. Like, I have changed so much, and I really, it's a mess sometimes. Frankly, it's a mess, but like, it's my mess, and it's just every day is a new discovery, and it's a new thing. First I kind of want to talk about like my mindset around it. So pretty much I was out for about 6 months before I really started considering testosterone. I knew that I knew who I was, and I knew that my gender presentation, like, I was kind of doing the best I could without hormones. But like, I knew that I would really be like perceived as female, just off the bat. And so, but that is really exhausting when that's like not your identity. But for me, because I know that like it really doesn't matter what your presentation is. Your presentation has nothing to do with like your gender identity, and sometimes your gender identity can be the opposite of what the typical gender presentation is. And so I'm using air quotes here because, gender is a game. Everything is a joke, and we're just trying to figure out how to make sense of all of this stuff. So when I first started testosterone, there was a couple of options. First, it was like, are you gonna do shots or gel? I was thinking first, like, gel sounds awesome because I don't want to have to shoot myself. Wait. I don't want to have to give myself shots over and over and over again, because that sounded kind of awful. But I realized that the other option would be having to put gel on every single day. And I have like an ADHD brain. It's hard enough for me to remember to do like very basic things for myself. So I did not think that I would enjoy having to do another thing every single day. I know I could like use it when I take my other medications and stuff, but it just didn't seem appealing to me. So I went with the shots option, and I'm really glad that I did. I will tell you though, so far doing it for about 6 months, it never gets easy. There's a lot less like freaking out before I actually do my shots, but it's still, sometimes it hurts a little bit, but I like remind myself what I'm doing, and it's okay. I kind of get over it pretty quickly. I think one of the first things that you're probably going to notice is bottom growth. That happens like pretty quickly. Some people even notice it within days of starting testosterone, either gel or shots. And so that was something that I noticed happened pretty early, and that was a welcome change. I've mentioned, I think in my other transition video, that like bottom growth was a welcome change that I was looking forward to, and there's just no complaints. I think really there's changes, and so as your body is changing, you have to like learn how to take care of your body differently. And I think that also kind of goes on with another change that I've noticed, which is smell, which is an interesting an interesting part of transition that I don't think I was prepared for, but here we are. It's happening. So we shower more often these days. that is happening for sure. Yeah, you just have to learn how to take care of your body, and I'm kind of in this space of learning every day. Another super exciting thing that I noticed, even on low dose testosterone, is that like my shoulders started getting more broad and my muscles started to get bigger. Like even like last month, I noticed that my arms started doing this thing. I can't explain it, but I just noticed my arm muscles are changing. And obviously that's something that can happen without testosterone if you're just working out, but this is just, I'm not really doing much like in terms of working out, and it just happened to me. So that was pretty exciting. I had to do some push-ups. That's besides the point. We're talking about testosterone here. Body changes happen. Oh, this probably would have been better suited to be earlier on in the video, but I'm going to talk about it now. And so my doctor did have me on, I think, the full dose of testosterone for about like a month or two, just to start seeing some of those initial changes happening. But then like things started changing really fast and hair was happening very fast, and I was very nervous. So I wanted to pull back on that a little bit because I knew that I wanted a little bit more of like obviously like non-binary presentation. And so I wanted to pull back some. And so I reduced my dose quite a bit. And here I am now. Like in terms of mood, I really haven't noticed any mood changes. I think sometimes I can get a little bit more irritable towards the end of the week, but that's like a passing thought. It's not that big of an influence, I guess, in my transition. But you know, if you're on testosterone, be aware. Just be noticing your emotions, because you want to pay attention to what's changing within you. I think that's super important. Last thing that I want to talk about is my voice. My voice, which has been changing quite a bit. So my voice has changed a lot. Before it was kind of like this, but now it's like this, obviously, and I am really happy with it. I think I have a hope that I think I wouldn't be automatically gendered female on the phone, but that hasn't necessarily happened yet. And I just think that's because I have just a way of speaking. I'm a queen, and I'm just a big old queen, and it just comes out of me sometimes. No, but for real, like I know that I just the way that I'm talking can be perceived as feminine more often, and I really don't have any interest in changing that. I just want my voice to be deeper. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Another thing is that I'm like louder now. Like I feel like I'm not aware of my voice and how loud it can be. And so I think I shout more often than I realize that I am. My wife is always telling me to like quiet down because I just get really loud, especially when I'm excited. And then another thing is that sometimes I'm stronger than I think. That kind of goes back to the muscle changes, but I think that like sometimes I'm stronger than I realize in the moment. I realize that I'm like a little bit insecure, I think, now. I think because my body is changing so much. And I was talking to my wife about this, and she was just like, you're just getting used to a whole bunch of things. And I was like, that is so true. Like, it makes sense that I feel super weird in my body because things are changing a lot in my body, but it's exciting. It's exciting and scary. And speaking of body changes that are exciting and scary, top surgery. Whew. So if you haven't watched my last video where I talked about my top surgery consult, I think that was in the self-care video that I did not too long ago. But I'll link that in the comments because I talked about my first top surgery consult. That didn't go as I had hoped it would. It sucked, honestly. And after I left, I was so discouraged because this guy pretty much had told me that my chest was too big to, you know, have a nipple sparing technique. And I would be left with kind of trigger warning, I guess. I'd be left with breasts. And he was saying that he didn't think that he could get me down below a B cup, and that like shattered my world. I wanted to keep my nipples, but I didn't want to have breasts still. I wanted to just have a little bit of fullness in my chest and to still have like a masculine appearing chest. And so I was very discouraged. But then I go to my next consult, and this dude was such a much more pleasant experience, because he had actually had experience doing this surgery for other people, folks who have chests my size, and he made it seem like a walk in the park. And my wife was at the appointment with me, and she asked why he thought the other doctor responded the way that he did, and he was thinking that the doctor probably just didn't have that much experience. And so I really say all of this just to be a message of maybe hope, or a little bit of a warning message, that sometimes you're going to hear stuff from your doctors that you don't like, and some doctors really just that might not be able to make what you want to happen actually happen. So schedule multiple consults. It's always better to cancel an appointment than wish that you had more appointments than the one doctor that you were hoping would be everything for you, because that doesn't always happen. And just always get a second opinion. Get a second opinion, especially if your surgeon doesn't seem 100% confident that they can give you the results that you want. And I still have one more consult to go to, and I'm going to take them all because I want to make a really good decision when it comes to my treatment and my chest. Like, I'm going to be living with this new chest for the rest of my life, and I want to make a good choice when it comes to picking a surgeon. Y'all, I was just having fun rambling a little bit about my transition. This is where I'm at. Hopefully, if things go well, I could be getting top surgery as early as October. And it is August, is the beginning of August when I'm making this video. So things are hope. The wait is really difficult. I will tell y'all that waiting around is really hard, and the mental game is so difficult to get through. But keep loving yourselves. Please take care of yourselves. Please drink some water today. I love y'all so much. I want to send you just peace, love, joy, happiness, abundance, all those things. Please go ahead and give me a comment where you're at in your transition. I would love to connect with you. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mav Magic, and it's been great talking with y'all. I'll see you next time.